Hello then. Right, I thought I'd do a quick bit of something. There's not much going on and probably won't be for the next, well, in the next sort of 2-3 months I'll be moving to a new location. So that engine needs to be bolted to the gearbox and bolted in the car. But we'll come to that later on. So, just finishing off the exhaust. I have welded on flexi pipe there. That's a 2.25 inch flexi. It's one of the nice smooth flow ones inside, so that's gone on there. I've then got a bit of 2.25 inch pipe. That should just snug fit in there. So that is the downpipe. That pipe that's only 1/2 metre. I don't know how long I'm going to need it because it's going to mate to the track slag system. So that's going to be welded on there. Once it's under the car, I can then cut off what I need to and the exhaust system on, and then it'll just be a normal sleeve joint to connect that. So what we're going to do is weld that on there, and then clean up the welds, and then paint the rest of it. The weld don't took and lube, but I welded that last night. Not the best, but it's sealed. So we'll just get this bit welded on, and then go and tidy up the welds, stick some paint on it to match that, the high temp paint, probably only sort of halfway down. And then that will be pretty much the downpipe finished. So it's looking pretty good. And again, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I'm not opting for the 4 branch because personally I don't think they're worth the money they are. They're not worth it unless you're going to build a race engine, which actually uses the sort of exhaust scavenging and downpipe properly at high RPM, but I'm just building a fast road engine. So we've got the standard 16.5 cast manifold, which has been ported inside, ease flow slightly. The outlets from the head, the inlets from the head into the downpipe have been widened, so they are slightly wider than the head. So any air on an exhaust manifold, these won't do it. So the air comes out there. You'll have some air trying to go back up there at sort of low RPMs. So the idea to make the ports on the exhaust larger than the head. Any air that comes down and does try to go back up at low RPMs has to hit a step to get back in, so it just gives that a little bit of extra resistance for air trying to get back in. And then some of the previous videos, you'll see the exhaust, these sections here have been opened up to, it's about 51 mil, which is a lot bigger than the standard, which is just the size of the actual standard gasket. That's gone on there. This is from there up to, well, to there now, was a downpipe off a Mk2 Golf 2 litre 16 valve, purely for the nice easy pipes. That was 30 quid. Yeah, 30 quid for that. That was 12 quid. That was 12 quid. I think they were like 8 quid each. The flange is the original flange off the 16 valve downpipe. So all I've done is took the standard flexi coupling off, because if you see one of the previous videos again, the exhaust comes out certain, it drops down, I think it's 35 mil, it drops down to the inside of there, and then it opens back up. So that restriction's gone. Nice flexes on there, so it's got a bit of strength in there. Onto that downpipe, I put another flex in there just so it's a nice flow. I don't want any strain on the system, and then that should flow as good as you're going to get, really. And the cost of it is pennies really compared to a 4 branch, and it's got the OEM look, bar obviously those bits, but once you're not really going to see all that. Yes, it's welding the consumables, but if you've got those, you've got those. Yeah, so let's get on welding this. Well, not that I'm a professional welder, but I'll zoom in, they don't look too bad. There you go, we're all welded on. Not bad looking weld. Not too bad, but it's on there. So there we go, that's the downpipe on. So that will do. Once that's under the car, that will straight and then just sleeve straight onto the rest of the system. So I'll put this straight and then we can clean those welds and get some paint on. Well, there we go. Downpipe is complete. Simple as that. I've only painted the end of there because like I said, I'm not sure when it needs to be cut off. But there we go. Simple, cheap, easy downpipe. It's going to work. It's not going to melt your steering boots. It's not going to rattle against your bulkhead, or every time you drop the clutch and floor, the manifold's not going to smash against the steering rack because these fit. So again, just to recoup. Exhaust manifold, standard 16 valve, in large ports, larger than the head, so any air that does return up there at low RPMs has to hit a step before it actually get back in and then cause a restrict for the outcoming air. That again is only low RPMs. The outlet ports have been enlarged to about 51mm. If you get the standard gasket, you'll see what the difference is. I've cut the original flange off, 16 valve downpipe. That's the original flange. 2 flexes on there, so those flexes match that. Drops down a bit to the size of this, all the way out into a 2.25 inch flexi onto a 2.25 inch pipe. Now the flex I said is 2.25 inch because it's designed for a pipe to fit inside there at 2.25 inch, or so I believe. But we're on there, so all it'll have is a sleeve type clamp on there, straight onto the 2.25 inch track sack system. So again, with a sleeve type, you're not going to have any restriction there, dropping and widening the pipe. Yeah, so that is a cheap alternative to your 4-branch. Very cost effective. I mean, you don't even have to do that machining work, you could just get the standard manifold. Well, I don't know, it's up to you, do whatever you want to do, but this is the route I've taken because I want to keep it OEM. So I've done the work on the exhaust manifold, Mark III 16 valve downpipe, added 2 flexes in there, so you've got a smooth flow of air into there. They drop down into this pipe, comes along, flexy, bosh, out, popping, farting, lovely. So I'm quite chuffed with that. It's not quite a nice colour as well. The paint I'm using is just high coat. Quite like using high coat paint, it's pretty good. That's just extreme hilt silver grey. Goes on quite a nice matte finish. Looks quite nice. Quite a nice finish on it. So there we go. So now the next plan for this is, like I said, I'm going to be moving in the coming months. So ideally I didn't want to put the engine in until I've done everything else. The cam button bit smells but needs must. So set of engine mounts are going to be next. Inner CV joints can go with the drive shafts. Drive shafts are in. Yeah, so just inner CV joints, and then it comes on the clutch. Now, when I get the clutch, I'll have more of a chat about them. But clutch-wise, I'm probably going to be using a Luck rep set clutch. Now, some people don't use those; they're terrible, but they're actually not. When you read into actually who makes Luck clutches, there's one company who actually produce parts for Luck, INA, and FAG, and everything. So yeah, I'm not pushing massive power. I'm not going to put an uprated clutch in it because I don't see the point. If the standard one starts slipping, then fine, I can do it later down the line. But at this point in time, I don't want to fork out 250 odd quid on an uprated clutch when I don't think I might need one. So we stick a standard one in there. That'll come soon. And flywheel wise, now I was going to get the flywheel lightened, which is all they do. Put it on a lathe, and they machine off from this side, make that thinner, makes it a few kilo lighter. Now, the reason I'm not going to do it is because when you lighten the flywheel, yes, it provides less weight for the engine to spin up, so you can build revs quicker. But what it also has on the flip side is a negative side of it is you don't have the weight in the flywheel helping the engine slow down. Like I said, I'm building a fast road engine, but it's not going to be revved its nuts off all the time. Well, probably will, but a high percentage of its driving is going to be at low RPM, and I don't want to lose that natural OEM drive of the engine. I want to improve on it, bigger bore, more power, different cams, get it set up right, bit of fuel in mod, air mods, hopefully producing the power I want, but I want to retain that factory drivability. So the 16 valve engine loves to be revved and loves to be driven, and I want to retain that. I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to be coming up to lights and like the engine's still trying to, I've already stopped, the engine's still trying to slow itself down because the flywheel's lightened. So that is the aim, to get this engine done like that. So once we get some new parts, or I find something else I can get on with, I'll update the next video. So cheers for watching.